Hello and welcome to Sarcastic Videos. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix original series House of Cards, Season 5. I just finished watching it and it is really good. It's one of the best seasons of this show so far. It's very entertaining. There's a lot going on. The characters are great. The acting's great. And it's very compelling. There's a lot of politics, but you don't need to know everything about how things work, because some of it's hard to tell if they're pulling some of it out of nowhere or if they're actually basing it on what can really happen in the political world. But some of it it seems far-fetched, but I could imagine in situations where the things they go through could actually happen, especially in today's political climate. So it starts out with leading up to the election. I think the first episode is actually 2 weeks before the election, with the Underwoods, Frank and Claire. Claire is the vice president going up against Governor Conway, and it's really good. Like, you see the both the cold, calculating Underwoods against the more emotional, the Conway family, and you get to see those different sides of the election. And I will give a spoiler alert right now, because the election ends after the 4th episode. So there's still a lot more to go in the show, and you need to know the result of the election to understand what happens later on in the show. So spoiler alert, Underwoods win, and they do use underhanded means to do it. And I'm not going to spoil that part of it, but wow, they really pull out no stops when it comes to winning the election and getting to be in the White House. And Neve Campbell is great in this. She's a lot more than she was in the previous season, but she's really great. There's a lot of double dealing behind the scenes, just like usual, but the political wrangling that Frank Underwood does to get elected is mind-boggling to some degree. Even just the rules that they employ to win the election was really compelling, that's for sure. And then after the election, they have to go on throughout the rest of the season dealing with Claire she's vice president, but she wants to be president someday, so there's this distrust between them where they have to deal with that, where she wants to protect herself from his decisions in some cases. So there's a lot of distrust, not too much. The Tom character is back, the one that Claire is having not really an affair with, but I guess an approved affair with. And that character I never really liked. I think he talks too much like he's trying to be in a play or something. It's just the way he comes across. I wasn't a big fan of, and he's in this season less, which is great. They do introduce some new characters. There's a political fixer who comes along to try to volunteer to help things out after the election, and she's mostly interested in Claire and Claire's future in politics. And there's a green reporter at the Herald who is trying to work with Tom Habersham with the article or the investigation he's doing regarding Zoe's death. So there's a lot to that it's very interesting. And there's always Doug Stampler, who's, you never know what he's going to do. He always seems like he's on edge, like he's going to go over the line at some point. And again, I'm not going to go into spoilers about what happens, but throughout the season, it's very interesting about how they kind of get into a corner regarding the things that they've done in the past, and how they're planning on dealing with it, or how they will deal with it. So it is really entertaining. It's a great season. It leaves you wanting more, but it shows you a lot. So it's not like you feel like you've been cheated or anything like that. by the way it ends. Like you just want to see more of what's gonna happen, and it really does entertain, and it goes by fast. Like it's definitely one that is fun to binge watch. So as far as Netflix goes, it definitely gets a thumbs up. And as far as I go, I would rate this a 9 out of 10 as far as uh, online television shows go. And that's the Netflix original series House of Cards, and that's season 5. I definitely recommend that you watch it and talk about it with your friends and have fun, because it is a great show, and it's definitely great to talk about and learn. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all of the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.